Give us a little bit of the background and context of why the protesters want these changes to the current system.
Well, the whole thrust of what the protesters are asking for in these protests the past few months is to make the monarchy in Thailand more transparent and accountable. And the key part of that, is articulated in the demands they issued when they first started in August, is on the finances of the monarchy. And we saw in the budget discussions a few months ago, opposition politicians were questioning, taxpayer money that was going to the royal family, which was really unprecedented for Thailand. So beyond that, there's also this investment portfolio run by the Crown Property Bureau that includes some of the best real estate in Bangkok. And right now, it's not really disclosed how much those properties earn and where that money goes. So ultimately, the protesters want more accountability, a system kind of more similar to the one in the UK, for instance.
So what does that translate to in terms of the legal changes that they're pushing for?
Shortly after the king took the throne, the military-appointed parliament at the time signed off on the first legal changes regarding the Crown Property Bureau in about 70 years. And these effectively allowed the king to put his name on the assets of the Crown Property Bureau. So we saw that he did that directly with the stake in Siam Commercial Bank and Siam Cement. And these are the two main listed companies in that portfolio. And the changes also eliminated the finance minister's role as the ex officio chairman of the Crown Property Bureau. And this gave at least some appearance of government oversight over the body. So the protesters basically want to roll back these changes, and they want a clear division between the king's personal assets and those under the control of the Ministry of Finance, which would be ostensibly more accountable to voters.
So Dan, how likely are the protesters to succeed?
Not likely in the short term. So far, lawmakers that have considered changes to the Constitution have said they're not going to touch any provisions related to the monarchy. And at the end of the day, the king would need to sign off on any of the changes. So there's some inherent tension there. But what they have achieved is, putting this topic front and center of the political agenda. And that's a major shift in Thailand, where there's still jail sentences potentially for any insults to the royal family. So, before this was only rarely talked about, and now they're protesting outside of Siam Commercial Bank and the Crown Property Bureau. So, down the road, that's raising some more awareness and some more risks for businesses that potentially do business with the palace.